Hello, welcome back to the Giang Files. People often liken a mother's love to the most peaceful harbor, but today's story will prove the opposite. Love can sometimes turn into deadly poison. We will together reopen the file on a famous celebrity family in Taiwan, where excessive protection transformed into imprisoning shackles, pushing an innocent child onto a path of sin. What dark secrets are hidden behind that glamour and those forced smiles? Let's join the Giang Files in this haunting case right now.
In 2005, in Taipei, Taiwan, a strange event took place that attracted widespread attention from the media and the public: a kissing contest. Amidst a crowd of young lovers and affectionate married couples, the appearance of a famous actress made everyone turn their heads. She didn't come with her husband, nor with any secret lover. Her companion was her own beloved young son. To the enthusiastic cheers mixed with the astonishment of the crowd, the mother tightly embraced her son and kissed him continuously for many hours to win the championship prize, marking the beginning of a series of distorted tragedies that would unfold later. That woman was Ying, a renowned name in Taiwanese entertainment, with sharp beauty and an unparalleled rebellious personality. The image of the famous mother kissing her son on stage that day was not merely a television game. It was like a silent declaration of her absolute ownership over her only child. None of the applauding audience members that day could have imagined that the winning kiss would be an omen for a dark future, where maternal love would transform into a suffocating iron cage, imprisoning and destroying the very child she loved more than her own life. Ying was born into an artistic family, but was orphaned by her father early, growing up amidst the harshness of itinerant theater troupes. A deprived childhood and complex living environment forged a thorny Ying, ready to bristle like a porcupine to protect herself and her loved ones. She did not receive a complete education, dropping out in 3rd grade to perform, but in return, she possessed natural beauty and a fierce survival instinct. This resilience helped her quickly ascend to the pinnacle of fame, but at the same time, it sowed the seeds for an autocratic personality, wanting to control everything around her, including flesh and blood people. In the entertainment industry of the 90s, Ying was known as a big sister who feared neither heaven nor earth, ready to use her fists to resolve conflicts. The story of her once severely beating actress Lan Ying right on set, simply because the latter was late, became a horrifying legend among artists. Ying's arrogance and habit of using violence to suppress others did not stop at social relationships. It deeply permeated her later parenting mindset. She believed she was always right, that she was the law, and that anyone who defied her would pay the price, a dangerous ideology when applied to a child. Ying's marriage to actor Sun Peng was also a story that consumed much newspaper ink, full of breakups, reunions, and drama. Sun Peng was 3 years her junior, a man who also had a glorious past, with bizarre school pranks and complex ties to the underworld. They came together, broke up, then reunited, creating a family where the line between right and wrong, between normal and abnormal, seemed constantly blurred. It was within this family cradle, fraught with psychological instability and cognitive distortions, that the boy An Tso was born and raised. Ying's journey to have a child was a long series of pain and hope. She had to undergo countless failed artificial insemination attempts to finally have An Tso at the age of 37. Because the child came with such difficulty, she regarded him as a treasure,
a gift from God specifically for her to compensate for past emotional deficiencies. This love grew to an extreme degree. She wanted to envelop her son in an absolutely sterile world where no harm could touch him, but she forgot that excessive protection is the sweetest poison. Ying's parenting process made any psychologist shake their head in dismay due to its chilling abnormality. She breastfed her son until he was 12 years old, an age when most children have begun puberty and experienced their first stirrings. The image of a tall teenager still snuggling into his mother's chest for comfort was not only shocking, but also a clear sign of severe invasion of personal boundaries. She did not view her son as an independent individual who needed to mature, but rather as a part of her own body, forever inseparable. Ying maintained the habit of sharing a bed with her son well into his teenage years, specifically until he was 15. On television programs, she recounted how her son would hold her while sleeping, describing interactions that many viewers found unusually close for a mother and an adolescent son. The lack of clear boundaries during his formative years inadvertently affected son An Tso's understanding of relationships. He grew up navigating a complex mix of maternal care and what appeared to be overwhelming control. Son An Tso's diet was also under his mother's tyrannical supervision. She forced him to eat enormous amounts of food every day. Ying spent 7 hours daily just sitting and watching her son eat, compelling him to swallow every spoonful of nutritious food she had meticulously prepared. The boy had no right to refuse, no right to choose what he liked. He was only allowed to obediently act like a living doll, carrying out his owner's commands. Meals were no longer a pleasure to enjoy, but became hours of mental torture, where he had to submit to his mother's will in exchange for peace. The world outside the family door was a forbidden territory for son An Tso, fraught with dangers his mother constantly warned him about. Before the age of 18, he was absolutely forbidden to step out of the house by himself, even just to buy a bottle of water at the convenience store downstairs. Every meeting with friends, every extracurricular activity had to pass Ying's strict censorship. She wanted to know his every move, every breath. He lived like a prisoner in his own luxurious home, completely deprived of the most basic human freedom. Once, son An Tso begged his mother for a long time before she allowed him to go to a friend's house for a meal. But Ying did not let him go alone. She personally escorted him. She waited outside, and when she saw that the friend's meal was too meager compared to her own royal standards, she immediately forbade her son from associating with that friend again. In Ying's eyes, no one was good enough. No one was of high enough class to be friends with her son. She isolated him from the world, turning him into a solitary figure among humanity. Normal social relationships were severed, and son An Tso could only rely entirely on his mother. This pathological level of control created a two-faced son An Tso. One side, a docile child in front of his mother, the other, a wild beast waiting for the day to break free from its cage. He learned to hide his true thoughts, to play the role of a filial son to please his mother, while inside, undercurrents of rebellion accumulated daily. The tighter Ying pulled the reins, the more the beast within him struggled to escape, and tragedy was only a matter of time until the last drop overflowed the cup. He became weak in life skills, but fierce in his secret thoughts. In 2018, when son An Tso turned 18, Ying decided to let her hawk fly into the sky of freedom by sending him to study abroad in the United States. This was the first time in his life he escaped his mother's watchful eye, free from the 24/7 surveillance that had constrained him for nearly 2 decades. The sudden environmental change from one extreme to another caused him culture shock and disorientation. With no one constantly reminding him to eat or sleep, no one forbidding him, he was like a car with broken brakes hurtling downhill into pleasures and freedom he had never known how to control. In the United States, son An Tso quickly revealed the hidden corners of his soul that had long been suppressed. He began collecting weapons as a way to express power. He bought guns, ammunition, and immersed himself in the world of violent real-life games where he felt strong, in control of life and death. Owning weapons gave him a sense of power he had never possessed when he was with his autocratic mother. He boasted of his exploits to friends, completely unaware that he was on a path leading straight to the abyss. On the fateful day of March 26, 2018, son An Tso told a classmate, "Don't come to school on May 1st. I'm going to carry out a shooting." This statement, which he considered an American-style joke, immediately triggered the local police's red alert system. For a country sensitive to school violence like the United States, this threat was nothing short of a declaration of war, and authorities did not hesitate to raid his apartment. What they found inside shocked both the United States and Taiwan. Police found a homemade 9mm pistol, over 1,600 rounds of various ammunition, and many other weapon parts in the international student's room. This amount of ammunition was enough to cause a horrific tragedy, turning the school into a bloody battlefield if the threat had become real. Son An Tso was immediately arrested on charges of terrorist threats, facing a long prison sentence in a foreign country. The image of the handcuffed teenager with an innocent, fearless smile on his lips became a symbol of the complete failure of his family's upbringing. The news of her son's arrest was like a lightning bolt for Ying, a mother who had always been proud of her perfect parenting methods. She immediately flew to the United States, bringing millions of dollars and the mindset of a mother ready to fight the entire world to protect her son. Instead of acknowledging the truth that her son had made a serious mistake, she defended him, claiming he was just a child, just joking, and had no malicious intent. This blind cover-up once again showed that she had never truly understood her son, or perhaps deliberately ignored the monster she had nurtured. To save her son from imprisonment, Ying and her husband did not hesitate to sell 2 luxurious villas in Taiwan to cover the enormous legal costs. They hired the best lawyers, scrambled everywhere, using money to gloss over their son's mistakes, hoping to bring him home safely. This action, though stemming from maternal love, inadvertently sent a misleading message to son An Tso. No matter what wrong he did, his parents would always be there to clean up the consequences. He did not need to take responsibility for his actions. After 280 days of detention in an American prison, son An Tso was finally released and permanently deported from the United States. Upon returning to Taiwan, he showed no remorse or regret for what had happened. On the contrary, he was welcomed like an entertainment star. The media pursued him, the public was curious, and he himself leveraged this notorious fame to embark on a career as a YouTuber. He opened his own channel, recounted his prison experience as an achievement, and continued to boast about his weapon hobby to thousands of followers. Ying, instead of preventing her son from repeating past mistakes,
wholeheartedly supported her precious son's new career. She appeared in his videos and participated in events with him. She seemed still immersed in the illusion that her son was an outstanding talent, a victim of misunderstanding, and now deserved to shine. This indulgence caused son An Tso to slide further into delusions of grandeur. He disregarded the law and public opinion, living a wild and irresponsible life. He became a KOL with toxic content, yet was celebrated by a segment of young people. In the years that followed, son An Tso's name continuously appeared in the news with private scandals, from promiscuous romantic relationships to acts of public disturbance. He changed girlfriends like clothes, dated older women, seeking in them the image of a second mother to care for and pamper him. Every relationship was tumultuous and ended in notoriety, but he didn't care because his mother was always ready to stand up and protect him. Ying even interfered in her son's romantic affairs, judging his girlfriends, continuing to maintain invisible control. The climax of the chaos came in 2024, when son An Tso caused a disturbance in Thailand, naked and mentally unstable. He broke into people's homes, acted bizarrely, and was detained by local police, suspected of using stimulants. Once again, Ying had to fly abroad to rescue her son, again with tears, again with explanations and blaming circumstances. The image of the aging, haggard mother rushing to resolve problems for her grown son became a bitter tragedy that made anyone who saw it sigh. But the tragedy did not stop there. Immediately after being brought back to Taiwan by his mother, son An Tso continued to shock by bringing a gas gun to a nightclub in Taipei. He declared he was researching weapons to save the world, wore sunglasses, and laughed mockingly at reporters' cameras like a movie star walking a red carpet. This act of defiance showed that he had completely lost touch with reality, living in a fantasy world where he was a superhero, the center of the universe. Ying's indulgence had created a grown-up child who knew no fear, no limits. Taiwanese police had to intervene, searching his home and seizing many dangerous items, including powders suspected to be explosives. Son An Tso was taken to the station, but his attitude remained indifferent, arrogant, believing he would be bailed out again as always. And indeed, he was released on bail thanks to his parents' money, returning home to live under loose family supervision. The vicious cycle of wrongdoing, cover-up, recidivism continued, growing increasingly serious, pushing the Sun family into a dead end with no escape. Looking back at the entire story, one cannot help but shudder at the terrible impact of a misguided parenting method on a person's life. Son An Tso, from a boy with a perfect starting point, born into a prominent family with economic means, was transformed into a personality crippled by his mother's blind love. He lacked self-reliant skills, had no ability to take responsibility, living parasitically on his parents' fame and money. He was a victim of the very people who gave him life, those who, in the name of love, deprived him of the right to grow up. Ying, a woman who was strong her entire life, breathing fire in the business world and on film sets, ultimately failed miserably in the most important role of her life, motherhood. She used control to express love, money to solve problems, and cover-ups to deny the truth. She did not realize that children are not personal property, nor are they tools to satisfy one's ego or to compensate for parents' past hurts. Her sacrifice, instead of helping her son soar, became a 1,000-pound burden, dragging him into the mud. The story of Ying's family is not just a private tragedy of the entertainment industry, but a wake-up call for all parents about boundaries in raising children. Loving children is instinctive, but loving correctly is a skill that must be learned and cultivated daily. Excessive protection will create weak children. Extreme control will breed rebellious souls, and unconditional indulgence will nurture the seeds of crime. Children need love, but they also need respect and space to develop freely and stumble. Son An Tso is now physically an adult man, but his soul remains that of a 12-year-old child who has not yet been weaned, bewildered and lost in the currents of life. His future remains a big question mark. Can he escape his mother's overwhelming shadow to find himself? Or will he continue to slide into endless mistakes? No one can answer for sure, but as long as Son An Tso is now physically an adult man, but his soul remains that of a 12-year-old child who has not yet been weaned, bewildered and lost in the currents of life. His future remains a big question mark. Can he escape his mother's overwhelming shadow to find himself? Or will he continue to slide into endless mistakes? No one can answer for sure, but as long as Ying refuses to let go, refuses to let her son take responsibility for his own life, this tragedy will have no end. In the long, silent nights, perhaps Ying also wondered where she had gone wrong, why her great love had produced such a heartbreaking outcome. But perhaps she will never find the. In the long, silent nights, perhaps Ying also wondered where she had gone wrong, why her great love had produced such a heartbreaking outcome. But perhaps she will never find the answer if she continues to view life through the lens of arrogance and stubbornness. Her failure is a costly lesson in letting go of control, letting go of imposed expectations so that children can live their own lives. Because the greatest gift parents can give their children is not money or eternal protection, but wings of freedom for them to fly on their own in the vast sky. The story concludes with the image of Son An Tso, wearing sunglasses and smiling arrogantly, walking out of the police station, while behind him, his aging mother struggled to clean up the act. The story concludes with the image of Son An Tso, wearing sunglasses and smiling arrogantly, walking out of the police station, while behind him, his aging mother struggled to clean up the aftermath. A haunting, contrasting picture of the collapse of an exemplary family, where fame and money could not buy peace. It is a modern tragedy where family values are distorted by selfishness in the name of kinship, leaving never-healing scars in the souls of those involved. The journey of parenthood has never been easy. It requires patience, understanding, and the courage to acknowledge one's own mistakes. The story of Ying and Son An Tso will continue to be cited as a prime example of toxic love, reminding us that sometimes loving a little less, letting go a little sooner, is precisely the best way to protect those we cherish. To allow children to stumble, to feel pain, and to stand up on their own. That is true love. That is the most precious baggage for them to step into life. Looking deep into Son An Tso's eyes, one does not see the aggression of a criminal, but the emptiness of a soul that has lost its way. He struggles in the chaos created by his own mother, trying to find a unique identity through the most negative means. Perhaps deep down, he also yearns to be a normal person, to make mistakes and correct them without his mother's constant presence. But as long as that invisible umbilical cord remains uncut, he will forever be just a grown-up child in his mother's arms.
Life continues, and the lessons from Ying's family remain relevant to this day. Do not let love become a prison. Do not let care become shackles. Love your children with a warm heart and a cool head, so they can live as themselves, not as copies or tools of their parents. Because, after all, the ultimate goal of family education is not to create an obedient child in a glass cage, but to cultivate a free, resilient, and socially responsible individual.
In the shadow of their mistakes, it is hoped that one day both Ying and son An Tso will find the light of awakening, an awakening to realize that letting go is not losing, but allowing love to mature and become more complete. And that, perhaps, is the most humane ending we can hope for this sad story, an ending where kinship is healed by true respect and understanding. Their story, their pain, let it remain as a gentle yet profound reminder for each of us on this thorny journey of love. To all parents, look into Ying's mirror to reflect on yourselves, to see if your love is inadvertently harming your children. And to all children, be brave enough to step out of your comfort zone, brave enough to voice your desires, to live the life you wish for. Life is about choices, and it is hoped that each of us will make wise choices so that family love is always a peaceful haven, rather than the origin of tragedies. That is the final message this story wishes to convey to everyone.
What are your thoughts on the conclusion of this case? Leave your theories in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next case file. Goodbye and stay safe.